Right now, though, here on Opening Statements, we're turning to your top story. I'm sure you're hearing about this case. A teenager in Texas vanishes on Christmas Eve. And some new video may show Camila Olmos right before she went missing. The 19-year-old was last seen leaving her home in Bexar County, Texas in the early morning hours of December 24th. The sheriff's office there says that she normally goes out on a walk, but her mom started to get concerned when she didn't come home. Authorities believe that she's in imminent danger, and they're not ruling out kidnapping or trafficking. The sheriff's office is asking for the community's help in the search efforts.
What we're asking is, once again, folks from the community, if you've got any surveillance camera video, or if you've got a surveillance camera that maybe you haven't had an opportunity to check up until this point, please make it a point to look. Again, the last video that we have, it's about 7 a.m. Christmas Eve morning.
The sheriff's office released new video that you see here on your screen. This is from a driver. This shows some visuals of somebody resembling the teenager at around 7 a.m., and that was on Christmas Eve morning. So this could possibly be the last sighting of Camila Olmos. Here's some more about what we know about her. The last time she was seen, she was wearing baby blue pajama shorts and a black and blue North Face sweater with white shoes. The only items that she had on her were her car keys and possibly her driver's license. This is all according to investigators who are working this case. They say that her cell phone and her car were left behind at her house. So, how does this young lady go missing? Let's talk about it. Let's bring in two incredibly seasoned investigators. Private investigator Manuel Gomez and retired NYPD detective and the co-host of the Gold Shield show, Tom Smith. Good morning to you both. Tom, let me begin with you, please. Your insights. How do you think this young lady vanished?
Yeah, you know what, Julie, when you have cases like this, investigators have to keep a completely open mind into every possibility with this because there's no viable lead yet. You know, so you have to look into the possibility of an abduction, self-harm, or just a runaway. You know, all of those are going to be taken into consideration because right now there's no direct lead into any of those. So investigators have to keep an open mind into everything. As much as what's being said about a possible, you know, mental breakdown or whatever history she may have, you can't just rely on that. You have to go in a variety of ways until there's something really to nail down.
Yeah, great insight, Tom. Manuel, let me turn to you next. Your thoughts on her just seemingly to vanish without a trace?
Well, I agree completely with Tom. You know, there are no solid leads right now, but the main evidence that we need here is the digital footprint. Her iPad, her cell phone, her laptop. Doing the forensic on that, retrieving the deleted texts, and that's the key thing. Retrieving any deleted emails and messages will show what she was doing. Professionally, I feel that she was groomed because no 19-year-old girl, Julie, leaves her cell phone on the bed, uncharged, and then walks out the door in underwear, in pajama bottoms and a hoodie to go for a walk. I'm sorry. This tells me it has the earmarks of somebody meeting up with her and possibly grooming. And this area, Julie, is infamous and notorious for sex trafficking. So, yeah. Do I think she's a victim of that? Unfortunately, Julie, if we didn't find her within the first 96 hours, the chances of finding her alive are very poor. But I'm glad that the community is out there in force, Julie, looking for her hard. And I really pray that they find her.
Yeah, we do too, Manuel. Thank you. And I want to really zero in on that point you just made, an excellent one about this young lady not taking a cell phone if she did have a plan to leave the house. We have a clip. This is from ABC News. They interviewed one of Camila Olmos' friends. Take a listen to what that friend said.
It's been very out of the normal.
It's not like her. She's always been the one to always stalk on us and like, why aren't you doing this?
To make sure that her phone's always charged.
Yeah, phone's always with her, according to this friends, to your point, Manuel. Tom, tell us what you think about that, the fact that the phone was left behind. How key is that?
Yeah, Manuel is 100% right. There isn't a 19-year-old that doesn't have that as part of their body. And going by their friends, it's just very odd, and that has to be keyed on. But as Manuel said, the digital footprint is going to be important. Who she talked to, who her friends were talking to, who in common they all talked to. All that is what's going to be key in this. And getting her picture out there to every conceivable spot to make sure everyone has a photo of her somewhere, because she has to get from point A to point B and maybe to point C. So the more her pictures are out there, the better chance of maybe someone recognizing her are.
Yes, dovetailing off of that point, Tom, pictures of her, video. Manuel, I'm wondering if we can assume these investigators are already knocking on every door in that neighborhood to see if anybody has Ring doorbell footage to give them. Oh, we just lost Manuel's signal. Tom, if you're still with you, I can see you. Manuel's signal's frozen. Tom, you'll take that question from me. Do you think that we can assume they're canvassing the area and asking neighbors for whatever footage they may have?
No doubt about it. You know, that's the age that we're in, the digital age that we're in, and people having cameras everywhere. Stores, businesses, you know, private homes. You have to, you know, knock on those doors and get that video footage, because they have a starting point. That's the good thing about this. They know where she started off from. So you can now track it, especially with that one car frame and the video of her walking. Now you can really start to piece things together, and hopefully there's some more video footage of her.
Well, this is so fascinating. Tom, you know, I'd love to pick your brain. So when you said we have a starting point, so in other cases you worked, so you have not. And so this is a good thing perhaps for investigators, that they have one point in which to begin that search, the canvas, whatever you may call it, to try to, you know, rule out any place in the immediate area where she may be.
Oh, no doubt about it. Because when you don't know where something started, now you have to work backwards into finding a starting point. With this, you don't have to. You know, it started at her home, but they need to go through her room, any notes, any notebooks, any, you know, videos that she might have done. All of that needs to be part of this investigation, on top of numerous interviews of her parents, her friends, her teachers, of anything that was said in a conversation, anyone she brought up in a conversation that she might have met recently. All of that is going to play into this.